Hello, and welcome to Big Brown and Hairy. I nearly messed that up then, did you see that? Absolute professional. I am Bobby Rayman, and this is...
Consummate professional. I am Tuffy.
Your name is apparently Consummate Professional, there we go. Back again with an episode 20. We actually got to 20 episodes.
20? Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was more than that.
No, it's episode... Well, we had a bunch of World Cup ones. Oh, no, Euros, I mean. So yeah, 20.
Are we going to do the same this year with the World Cup?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there'll be nothing else to do. I mean, great.
We can comment on how the slave labour in Qatar, what the standard of the stadiums and infrastructure and things like that. See where the slave labour money has been spent.
In Bangladesh and India and African countries. Yes. Anyway, what a wonderful start. Having a go at Qatar.
Yeah, talking about current affairs and
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I thought we'd start off the podcast by talking about the wonderful, wonderful representation of brown people, who I think is a hero to brown people, and really sets a standard. Priti Patel. If you didn't realise, I'm being ironic.
I was going to say, there aren't many out there.
I'm being ironic. White people, you can keep Priti Patel. Keep her to yourself. Yeah. I mean, we got rid of her. You guys deal with her now.
Yeah, she's your problem.
Yeah. Do you want to move your mic down a bit? Sorry, it's covering your face. There we go.
Yeah. Apologies.
Yeah, Priti Patel making the news. With probably again, but this is probably the most outrageous thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. Shipping people off.
Yeah.
To Rwanda. So, okay, I'm interested to see your take on it because I've interpreted this in a way that has gone, what? I'm intrigued to see what you think.
Yeah, I think it's basically shipping people off to the furthest possible place that they can ship to, in an area where it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to get out of. Basically, I mean, the Rwandan government must be licking their lips at that contract. It must be worth.
Right? How much is that going to cost? That's going to cost more, right, than actually just giving them £50 a week. It's going to cost them a plane ticket and then paying Rwanda to...
However much that contract is worth. And I bet it's worth billions.
Would you be shocked if that contract has got some ties to some Tory who gets a cut of it?
Absolutely no shock whatsoever. It's a given for as far as I'm concerned.
And when do you think the U-turn is going to actually happen? I mean,
it'll happen.
Don't these things go through the House of Commons anymore?
It's supposed to go through select committees and things like that, and some sort of vote. That's what I would have thought. I mean, it depends.
Go to Lords?
I mean, it depends. Well, it depends. If it's something that's being enshrined in law, then yes, it has to be voted on. Within the Commons, and then get sent to the House.
I'm presuming it does. You can't just ship people off to a different country. Borderline.
We're talking about international law that it may contravene. But I mean, I've studied international law as part of when I studied my law degree. International law, in essence, doesn't really mean anything.
Can't the UN get involved and stuff?
Again, doesn't mean anything.
Oh, right.
And the reason why it doesn't mean anything is because every country is sovereign.
So international law is just because there's nobody in control of everybody.
Yeah, it's international law is just two words put together that don't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, because every country is sovereign. And the belief is that if every country is sovereign, there isn't anything that supersedes their own law, so to speak.
I mean, it's just astonishing, but nothing surprises me with this government anymore. This might be the most outrageous thing. I can only think of. I don't know. Is this? No, it's not. Like, they're They won't even accept Ukrainians into our country. Yet they're expecting to shove people to Rwanda. What on earth is this country?
The Australian government do something similar by shipping people over to Papua New Guinea to be processed. Did you not know this? Did you not know this?
I did not know
this is a policy that they've had for years.
Papua New Guinea's in the middle of nowhere. It's just...
But it's just north of Australia. But the point is they've had this policy for years, the Australian government.
But isn't this a bit...
Isn't this a bit inhumane?
Concentration camping.
Yeah. Inhumane concentration.
Do you know what I mean? It's a bit getting that way, and you can't have a go
penning human beings into cages.
Isn't this?
Yes.
Isn't
all
this,
of the above?
Isn't this jail without jail? Essentially, or isn't this the idea that they were floating
a Rwandan Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah, to people that haven't committed a crime. All they're doing is wanting to live a better life.
The way that the Tories are framing it is that they're sending them to Rwanda to then be processed as asylum seekers. But the British government already has a policy and a law in place where it says that you can only claim asylum when you're on British soil. At no other point, everywhere else, you can actually claim asylum for a particular country, wherever you may be in the world. So if you have any of these sort of difficulties, if your life is in danger, then you can say, I claim asylum to Germany or whatever country. You can do that. But the UK has a policy where they say that you can only claim asylum if you're on British soil. So then, of course, they make it as difficult as possible for people to get to British soil. And ironically, it would have been much better. It would have been a much better situation had we remained in the European Union, because of course I think is it the Dublin Agreement or something like that that essentially would have meant that collectively the EU would have had to do something about it and stop these people going across the border across the channel from France into the UK.
Now, hasn't this got potential of trade deals being stopped? They could, like how Russia doing this crazy thing to Ukraine and all this stuff is being stopped from trade going to them and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Can't that same thing happen to the UK because people are peed off that they're doing this?
Potentially, but it's again
just so politics is dirty, man.
I can't see that happening.
No,
I can't see it happening. The only thing I can see happening is that there's a U-turn in order to deflect from something else, which
will inevitably happen. Could be already built in for this fine thing.
Possibly,
that's happening, and this could randomly put that in the news and then do a U-turn, and then they'll forget about the other thing. Look, and it's not just speaking hot gas here and just talking absolute bollocks. The Tories have done this multiple times in the last 4 years. Nonsense after nonsense after nonsense.
Yeah, they have form on this, not just in this particular government since 2010, but other previous governments as well.
I think a recent YouGov vote about they do like a voting thing to see with the select
poll.
Number. A poll, yes, that's the word I was trying. Ironically, that's the word I was thinking of during an immigration conversation.
The Conservatives are quite literally polling the electorate.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But on this poll, the Conservatives were third place, I think, or second place. The Labour government. Labour Party, surging ahead. But I think the next election there will be a change. I think everyone's had enough. I think there's more people. They've caused more issues this time, and people have realised Brexit was a hoax. The amount of people I've heard who go Brexit's nonsense, which it is.
This is, I mean...
You got your black passport today, as you were saying off
did,
camera.
yes, I did, yeah. I received my...
or blue passport, whatever you want to call it.
Either way, it's...
blue, as he says. If whoever knows the meme of Boris going, can't say the word blue properly, it's blue. Random, there you go. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, whether it's black or whether it's blue, it's just not... It's just not what I've become accustomed to.
Isn't it ironic our passports are something, the colour that our government hates? Anyway, so let's carry on. It's a joke.
I was just going to say, do I think there's going to be change in the next election? I'll believe it when I see it, because I think a lot will depend on how much propaganda is sent out by the Conservative Party HQ. How much mudslinging is done, because that's exactly what happened, with Corbyn when he was trying to.
I think Corbyn was going to give us, was it cheaper trains or free train? No, free internet and cheaper trains. Talking of trains, I've just saw an article before we came recording the podcast that off-peak and weekend fares, I think, are going to be slashed half price.
I read something about that, yeah.
I'm sorry, didn't Corbyn say this ages ago? And he was ridiculed for free internet. I mean, this country, you could give them, I don't know, free...
Well, the difference
free
is...
porn stars. I don't know why I thought that. Well, my head's fucked.
Well,
but you know, they would still say no.
Why that's in your head, I don't know. But
because I would say no. But no, but it's just like, you could give them anything. And they would say no. Oh, it's too good to be true. No, it's not.
What the Tories are doing here is just a real sort of... It's really sort of a temporary thing. Just to... Again, just to take your eye away from other things. Whereas what Labour was offering, what Corbyn was offering, was a sustainable long-term solution, renationalising the railways. I mean, I'm a big believer that the basic things in life, when you're in any country, those basic things like utilities, transport, that's where your tax money should be going to be spent on that infrastructure to allow you to then go and create wealth and things like that.
I think Corbyn was he was just speaking the truth in a certain way, and things were misconstrued in what he was saying, and then he was just smeared, doesn't he? I didn't realise this country cared about Judaism so much. Did you realise? Suddenly this country cared about Judaism. No, it doesn't give a shit about religion. This country is progressive. I mean, it doesn't think about religion as much as, But suddenly they put this smear campaign on, and everyone likes sheep. Go ahead. Look what Boris has said about Islam. Why hasn't that been smeared?
Absolutely.
He said worse things than Corbyn.
There's a lot of double standards. I mean, Corbyn himself never actually said anything about.
No, but do you see what?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to frame it, he never actually said anything. What he did say was things like, he was condemning the Israeli treatment of the Palestinians. Now, and this is quite correct, I believe, anyway, that criticism of Israel doesn't necessarily equate to anti-Semitism. And it shouldn't, because...
No, because there should be... There's a line, isn't there? Like, obviously there's anti-Semitism. That's absolutely disgusting.
Absolutely.
And you see it everywhere. You see it at football grounds and things like that. No, of course not. That's not what we're saying. But criticising a country... Like, you can criticise England, but you're not having a go at Christianity. That's what you're trying to get at here.
Absolutely. And it's important to make that distinction. What happened with the Labour Party afterwards, though, which, in a way... They took their eye off the ball and should never have allowed this to happen, because Corbyn was saying things like that, which in my view is correct. Israel should be open to criticism, but if they are oppressing, which
like
is
any
clear,
other country,
it's clear that they are oppressing the Palestinian population. They shouldn't be immune to any sort of criticism. But what happened with the Labour Party after that was that these hardline anti-Semites sort of took hold of those statements and then rolled with it.
and then also
became members of the party, rolled with it, and that's how the anti-Semitism got in, and they did nothing about that. That's wrong.
That was wrong, and Labour were wrong doing that. That was mental. I mean, and it's just giving the Tories some sort of free sort of easy. It was
an open goal.
Open goal.
Yeah, it was an open goal.
But the amount of open goals that the Tories have given Labour, and then Labour have done nothing about it because they haven't got as much power within the media, which is a known fact. Most of the media outlets are right wing.
Yeah.
And that's what causes the spin, and we see it. Well, I mean, look, America is an example. America, for me, is more right than here. Naturally, even the Democrats are a bit more right than than you'd think. The way they tried to smear Joe Rogan, it was just crazy because he's getting millions and millions more views than the news outlets. So they're calling him the racist, this and that, blah, 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 saying he does that, saying he does this. Where in fact, it's not. If you watch his podcast, which most people do, they're trying to spin it to cancel him, but that's his whole thing. It all blows over because it's not true. My point being, like, smear campaigns can work, and they have done in the past.
Yeah,
but it's those people that are not getting cancelled who stand up for themselves. And I wish Corbyn was still standing up for himself.
Yeah, the thing about
open goal right now.
And the thing about Corbyn is that he was far too, I guess,
honest
and honourable to get down into the mud, and because when that sort of propaganda and mudslinging, when it's aimed at you, you've got to get down into the trenches and fight dirt with dirt,
like a pig. That not David Cameron. Don't get excited. Like a pig in shit.
Yeah, but then he didn't do that, and which is unfortunate. But the things like renationalising the railways, the utilities. These are the things that would have meant.
No, they've done it to railways now.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to, aren't they? They're trying to short-term fix.
Yeah, there are. I mean, not only that, there are rail lines where they have renationalised, because as a privatised enterprise, it was doing shite.
Yes.
And I can't remember which one it was, whether it was Northern Rail or the East Coast Line. I can't remember.
I think it might be the East Coast Line. That rings a bell.
Okay.
Might be wrong, but there we go.
But it was doing shite as a private enterprise, so they've renationalised it.
Funny, isn't it?
These sort of things, infrastructure should be nationalised. To be, because they should be there for the benefit of the people, not for profit. They should be there for you to then go out and create your wealth and, business, enterprise, whatever. But those basic things, utilities, transport infrastructure, things like that, should absolutely be nationalised.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
it works in Scandinavia.
Exactly. But I think that's what Corbyn was trying to do, a bit more Scandinavian sort of flair to our... It works. Yeah. But what Jeremy didn't take into fact is this country's stupid. I mean, we live here.
It's full to the brim of people who, quite easily get led down the garden path by right-wingers. I
mean, it's so obvious and in plain sight. I don't understand how... It's the thing of you're made to feel crazy for having the correct opinion, not a correct opinion, but thinking the right way. And you're ostracized for having a normal sense of yet these brainwashed people through watching bullshit news. It's classic. It's been going on for years and years and years. But another thing that they're trying to get away with is these party fines. £50. Now, Priti Patel is on camera in front of those stupid podiums that they had during COVID with safe space, whatever the hell it was, wash your hands bollocks, saying £10,000 fines or £800 fines or whatever. Why are they only getting fined £50? And Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, all them lot, are the first Prime Minister in power to break the law.
Yeah.
Break the law. Officially. How is he still here? Resign. He's shamed. He's a shambles. Why is he still here? We are a joke to the world. If they care that much about this country, he would go, but he doesn't. He cares about lining his pockets. That's all what it's about. And if people still can't see it, I saw it again the other day online. Oh, he's had a tough thing. Oh, he's been through a lot. He's had to deal with a lot. Fuck off. Every prime minister's had different issues to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes, granted, he's had some tough, crazy ones. But it's about how you deal with these things, and he hasn't dealt with it.
He hasn't dealt with them, with these things with integrity. And when you take the job, there's an assumption that at some point you're going to have to deal with difficult things.
People first, money second. But it's not that way, is it?
With Tories, it never has been. It's always been money first, the people second. That's why we have the second highest fatality rate, COVID fatality rate. Exactly.
They didn't give a shit. They didn't act upon time, and they were too late. And then when they did, it made, I suppose, it stunted the growth of
It's no coincidence, and people need to appreciate this. It's no coincidence that the two countries with the highest mortality rates due to COVID are the two foremost capitalist powers in the world. It's no coincidence.
But I have to say, the Asian countries like China, I think, would not be telling the truth on numbers. Is anyone who comes across this week?
Possibly.
I think there is that. But yes, on the facts.
I mean, China, I can certainly, because unfortunately the virus originated from
that's
there.
What I'm trying to say.
So I can understand that. But when the likes of Taiwan, no, because they're in direct sort of diplomatic conflict with China. So it's in their interest to release accurate
stick it to the. Oh, I don't know what I did then.
To try and stick it to the red man. Yeah.
Sorry, I did a camera switch thing there that looked horrendous. It looked like 3 angles changed at one time, so I apologise for all of you.
The consummate professional that you are.
Yes, well, I'm producing, directing, and being a podcaster at the same time.
I'm just along for the ride, really.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when we stop being shoddy productions and actually have people to control the podcast, it'll be a nice feeling. My left hand can have a rest. If you're ever wondering what this hand is doing,
I don't know. I don't want to know.
It's not randomly.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't think anybody wants to know what your left hand is doing, really.
I'm not going to say that joke. Yeah, should we change the subject? It's nice and depressing, really. That was. Should we go on to Johnny Depp? I mean, what on earth? I mean, fair play. I think everyone's team Johnny Depp. Everyone hates Amber Heard and is seen through her nonsense. I think the first time I've seen online, no one's on Amber Heard's side here, because it's quite obvious what's going on.
She's tried to block a fair few things as well.
Yeah, and it's quite obvious what she's trying to do, and the defamation thing. You can tell Johnny Depp is normal, and all his reactions to her may have been mentally abusive or abusive, but she was constantly mentally abusive. Whereas he would react on certain things when everyone has their limit, and then she's using those instances rather than the consistent abuse. She's trying to say those instances are equal to her abuse, which I don't think it is. And what do you call it when you bring someone up to interrogate? What's it called?
So cross-examination.
When they cross-examine, so the witnesses or the whatever. Yeah, they brought up 3/4 have been in Johnny Depp's favour. Even the mutual friends and stuff have gone, Amber is mental.
But I think it's important just to say from at this stage that it's only Johnny Depp's side that have presented their arguments. So there could be a whole lot of other things that balance it the other way.
I think it's been well known in Hollywood that Amber Heard is a mentalist. It was well known. But it was just, it only got heightened during Johnny Depp's thing. She used to date Elon Musk.
Oh, did she?
She don't know. I think were they married or something? Or don't know. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, she's a psychopath. You want to think they're not together? She's nuts. They've got some issues. And Johnny Depp has never had what Johnny Depp is. You can tell. He's a shy guy, He's an actor because that's the way he sort of gets off. He likes portraying other characters, but he doesn't have to be himself. And you can see he's troubled in ways that are normal for someone with that much of a light shine on them, where they can't have, a persona that is over the top. However, you can tell from close friends and stuff like that, he's quite a funny character. Yes, he does drugs. Yes, he does drink. Yes, he's a bit of a rock star.
Yeah.
But that's part and parcel of it. Now, Amber Heard is just a money-grabbing little hoe who just... She was an okay actress. She was, doing okay. But to get to the heights of where she's talked about, she had to tag along with Johnny Depp. And then when he wanted to leave, because she's a psycho, she goes and does this. So I have got no sympathy. I think Johnny Depp, you can tell his character. Everyone knows his character. You can tell. He's not going to be a horrible person. He's not Bill Cosby. He's not Harvey Weinstein. But I'm so happy that he's got this defamation case against Amber Heard. I'm so happy that they've got that, because she tried to ruin his character.
And not only that, it's the thing that's really good about this is that it's going to a jury as well. It's not based on one judge coming to a decision like what happened in the High Court here in London, in the UK. It's actually going to a jury. So
I hope he takes all that 50 million that she took from him. I hope he gets it all back, and I think there is a strong possibility he will, because she doesn't deserve a penny. She doesn't. Not that deserve. The things I've heard, the abuse that she did is psychotic. And any normal, warm-blooded human, male or female, would react probably in a worse manner than Johnny did.
Yeah.
But it just shows his thing. He only went so far because he's a mild-mannered guy. You can tell. You can just tell.
He's
He's a character. He's funny when you get to know him. He's one of those.
Yeah. He has his demons to a certain extent, I guess. I think in that situation between those two, it was a bit of a powder keg situation, wasn't it? Because, and I think maybe it comes across, and I mean, to a certain extent, I have a personal experience from a previous, I don't know, but to me, it comes across as though she had to get in there first.
Yes. Before he ruins it. Yeah. 100%.
And my belief has always been that the guilty person always makes the first move.
100%. I agree with you. It's simple, and
as a defensive.
And the way, I don't know if you've seen bits and bobs in the news when you see things on Twitter. Well, that's why I've been seeing it anyway. Just seeing Johnny laugh at certain things. He's showing actual emotions because that's really him. Yeah. He's not pretending to be anything. He's showing real emotions. Like, Jesus Christ, they were telling stories about stuff, and he found it funny, like about his penis and stuff with the nurse. He started giggling because that's a normal human reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't show he's human, nothing does. And Amber is just ruined her career. No one's going to touch her, and this she is scraping for the last. Because as soon as this went to, she thought she would try and ruin him because she's got an overwhelming case. Blah, blah, blah. But because she's so delusional, she forgot that people can appeal or counter sue,
and court cases can happen in other countries as well.
And she thought controversy sells with her name, but no one's going to touch her in films. You're telling me the general public would rather? I would still rather. Speaking from my opinion, I'd rather watch a Johnny Depp film than Amber Heard.
Without
question. Give a shit about Amber Heard. And you know what?
Without question, we're talking about one of the most talented actors who has ever graced the screen.
I agree. Underrated as well. Underrated absolutely. Because of the... Look,
he's considered as alternative, isn't he?
Alternative, but he plays in mental characters. Look at how diverse his characters are. So you got to give him, he plays some iconic characters as well. Look, Edward Scissorhands, the Alice in Wonderland thing, Charlie Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Some Sweeney Todd. Iconic characters, which are difficult to be different in, and he did it.
He's on
Pirates of the Caribbean. Look, how many 5 characters have just named there?
I mean, from an acting point of view, he's on a different plane to
I agree.
To Amber Heard.
And look, Amber Heard, I'll give her before we got to know her, she was on a Top Gear episode where she was lauded for being a bit of a tomboy, having these things, liking fast cars, guns, and stuff like that. To ruin that image so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, she had every potential to be a decent actress. But I think, unfortunately, maybe this is speculation, maybe drugs got involved or whatever. It's just a cocktail of madness for her, and it's caused her... I think she needs to go and get help. Like mental help. Or even at least therapy.
Yeah.
Because the girl shouldn't be acting like that and then treating somebody... everyone has... relationships can become toxic or whatever. But there's a line, isn't there, before it gets mental. She needs therapy. Even Johnny, I think, needs therapy. But he knows his demons. He knows he's got demons. He's talked about it.
Yeah.
But
with Amber Heard, there's a. It almost seems like. It almost seems like she was waiting for something negative to happen. At some point, he would see the light and want out of that situation.
Yeah.
And I think she knew it as well.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying to get out of that relationship as much as she could. Because I think deep down she knew that at some point Johnny Depp would see the light, realize what a train wreck it is, and want out.
It's just a crazy, crazy toxic relationship. And,
very much so.
It's probably a good thing they're not together, but I think Johnny deserves justice for the way he's been treated, and he should be fair. They could have a divorce or whatever, but it should be a bit more fair than it was dealt with.
And I think, on the face of it, if you look at it, I think Johnny's prepared to lose everything to clear his name,
where she's not.
No.
And that just shows everything. He didn't have to do this, did he?
No.
But he did.
I mean, he's lost a considerable amount already. He hasn't really...
But the difference is he can gain it back.
Yeah, he hasn't really done anything since that last court case. He's had projects that have been cancelled. He's, the prequels to the Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts.
Oh yeah, he got that taken away, didn't he?
Got that taken away. He's replaced by Mads Mikkelsen. His character was replaced. But he's had that taken away. But
he will get it back.
He'd get it back, and you can see in that he's prepared to lose absolutely everything that he's got to clear his name.
I think you're spot on there. I think that just proves it's not a nothing to lose situation. He's just like, no, I want to clear my name because I'm not in the wrong here.
Yeah, this
crazy woman.
Is
to blame. So I hopefully the jury sees it the way. The whole of the world is seeing it.
Yeah. I'm honestly thinking, I don't think Amber Heard has really grasped that it could have got this far.
No, I think she's regretting everything. I think just thought we could have
maybe
divorced amicably. Yeah. They could have just settled something, but no,
and gone their separate ways. But I'm thinking she expected him to just sort of skulk away, sort of thing. But the thing is, people with integrity fight for that integrity.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you there. Right, let's talk about something a bit more, a bit sad, but sort of a bit of achievement for Mr. Wayne Rooney. I wanted to talk about this, how he's... I think he's done a fantastic job with Derby, considering all the changes and all this sort of stuff. So, what's happened here? Oh, it's a black screen. Great, that's good, isn't it? Shoddy Productions. Once again, fantastic, lovely.
What's going on today? What's going on today? It's like it's got a mind of its own today.
Wait! Look, I'm trying to set it up. Look, it's supposed to have something, but it's not. Right, so we're not showing that.
It's like you're pressing that button, and it's And it's saying, listen, you're having a laugh, aren't you, mate?
Well, it's supposed to show Wayne Rooney in Derby County, but it's not showing it.
Do you think that maybe from a copyright point of view, it's probably a good thing?
No, it's just an article. Let me try again.
It's not having it.
I'd have to restart. Oh, no, I can't be bothered.
No,
anyway, so there we go. I'm not restarting it. We could pause, but I can't be bothered. So Wayne Rooney, Derby County got relegated, but he's been lauded for the way he's dealt with things, and he's put out to the press. I hope former owner Mel, what his name is, Mel Morris. I hope it plays on his mind. He said, "Ooh, hope he loses sleep. Over the club's relegation." Ooh,
that's the thing. Though, will it though? If he's made a chunk of money, will it?
He doesn't give a fuck. He's been known, hasn't he, for a while that he didn't care. But yeah, Wayne Rooney, fantastic job for me. The amount of players that have changed, the amount of things he's had to do, playing kids, just shows. I said this to you off camera. Out of all the United legends, I did not think he'd be a good manager because of the way he's been portrayed. A bit sick. Yeah. No, he isn't. He's fantastic. I mean, the speech that he gave to the players and to the fans that travelled to the away game yesterday was amazing. It's like, no, we'll go back up. That's the winning. He had a winning mentality.
Yeah,
and that's what you need, in my opinion. And having that mentality now go to management is insane. But Wayne Rooney's always been that type of player. You think about all the last-ditch tackles and things like that.
Dog with a bone, isn't he?
Yeah, but you thought he's uber aggressive, but he's not. He's quite tame. I've seen
competitive, tenacious,
like a bit like Gerrard. You know how Gerrard had a bit of that about him, whereas Lampard doesn't. No, he doesn't have that bit of needle, like you said earlier. I'm impressed with Rooney, I have to say. I think he should have got the Everton job, but I don't think he wanted to leave Derby.
No.
I think the job he's going to do at Derby is going to be astonishing.
He takes it personal when someone takes the ball off him, doesn't he? He takes it personal.
And
he, the red mist descends and...
We need a bit of that. Like, Roy Keane had too much. But Wayne Rooney, even his... Like, I see changing room speeches from the manager and stuff, he sounded good. I never thought he could do that. I mean, fair play to him. He's been given a chance at a Championship Cup.
Yeah.
Because of his name, of course.
But he's made the most of it, hasn't he?
But this is taking an opportunity. Like, no one can take this away from him. He's done a fantastic job. Even though they got relegated, they lost 21 points. That's insane.
Yeah. 21 points down, and it's taken until really the last few games of the season for it to be confirmed.
I think there's 6 games left, 5 games left?
Yeah, it should have been, in reality, with the loss of 21 points, it should have been confirmed relegation.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Should have been done.
Yeah.
But fair play to Wayne Rooney. We have to, as a United supporter, I've always keep an eye on the old players, but fair play. Wayne Rooney, I'm going to keep, do you know what? I'm going to keep an eye on League One next year. I think it brings interest. And I mark my words, they will kill that league. And if they get the club sorted as well, like from a structure point of view and financially, they will smash that league.
Well, what it shows, it shows that he's instilled fight in that squad. That willingness and that that need, that desire to fight, to scrap for every single point. And B, it shows very evidently, it shows that he hasn't lost the dressing room at all.
No, and one thing is leadership and the players fighting for him. That's a different thing, but his energy must be infectious. And what a player to learn off on the training pitch. Rooney was, and still is, in my opinion, the most underrated English player, in my opinion. But he doesn't get talked about.
No.
He doesn't. No. Wayne Rooney was insane.
I think you and I have had this conversation before. I think he was a fantastic player, a wonderful player, but I just think he should have made a move abroad. I honestly believe that, because you have to It's like stacking up Messi against Ronaldo. Ronaldo for me any day, because he's proved himself in different leagues.
See, I think that GOAT discussion, I think Ronaldo wins it for me this season, just because look what Messi's doing.
Yeah,
nothing. Whereas Ronaldo scoring hat tricks.
Hat tricks for fun. Really.
Another thing about Ronaldo is the sad thing we learned yesterday about his
the loss of his boy. His boy, his son.
His son. Twins he had.
Twin daughter, son, and the son has sadly passed away.
So our condolences. Just sad. But, going back to the football, as you said, Ronaldo is just something else.
Yeah.
Something else. Messi and Ronaldo debate. Messi has got talent. Don't get me wrong, he's probably got the best talent, but the hardest worker in the room is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You can tell. And that's hard work beats talent. Conor McGregor said it. I think he took it from somebody. Hard work always beats talent.
Yeah.
Because people rely on talent. I'm not saying Messi doesn't work hard, but he doesn't work as hard as Ronaldo. I'm sorry.
No.
But
I mean, that's what I was saying about.
Oh, sorry.
But I was just saying about Wayne Rooney. I think he was an unbelievably good player, a fantastic player, easily world class. But I do think, in order for him to, for those conversations to take place about him, when you say that people don't talk about him, for those conversations to take place, I do feel that he needed to go abroad, and he had the opportunity.
He did go to the US, didn't he? But that's not the same. Do you mean like a Spanish league?
Yeah.
Or Italian league? No, not the Italian.
Not Italian, but somewhere.
German league even.
I'd say Spain.
Imagine him at Bayern. That would have been unstoppable.
That's a one team.
2 teams, 3 teams.
Yeah, but somewhere like Real Madrid or Barcelona, someone like that, to go there and produce it. I think then. He had an opportunity. I think, when they came up to a point where he was negotiating a new contract, and he started questioning the Manchester United's ambition.
Yeah, I think he should have gone after Fergie went. To be honest, there should have been a clear out, shouldn't there? I think you're right. But United have still got. There still needs to be a clear out of that team. And hopefully this year there will be this end of the season, there'll be a clear out. But that's that. I ranted about that last episode. I won't talk about it again.
At length.
I can't be bothered. Should we talk about
Well,
stuff?
you can.
I wanted to show you something.
You can't, but you can.
I wanted to show you this Nottingham goal by Jack Colback, but I can't because the frigging thing isn't working. Great. So... wonderful shoddy productions there. But I could actually, I'll send you a text with it. How about that? You can watch it on your phone.
Okay.
This is insane. Look at this technology at its finest. Sending texts. Jesus Christ! So I'm going to wait for your reaction to this.
I'm just waiting for the text.
Jack Colback from Nottingham Forest. Now, did he mean it? That is my next question.
Okay, got it. Let's see. I'm going to put the volume on.
Did he mean it? It's insane, whatever the hell it is.
Let's see a replay of it, or a different angle.
If anyone's not seen it, go search Jack Colback.
We need to see a different angle, really.
Disbelief.
Right, okay.
Is this intentional from Jack Colback? I'm thinking surely he's trying to put a cross in here. Just slices it. But if he means that, it's one of the...
I think he means it.
I don't think he does.
I think he means it.
I don't think he does.
Look at the way he's celebrating. I think he means it.
Yeah, but he's celebrating with his hand on his head, though he can't believe it.
Yeah, because he had to go.
Or it could be...
Because the only...
I don't think he did. I don't think...
Let us know what you think.
I don't think he did.
At Big Brown Hairy, if you want to...
If he meant that, then he could react to it, but be a bit more sort of puffy chested, if you know what I mean. Well, what's that?
Has one of our cameras gone off?
That's
One
me.
of our cameras gone off.
That's me, I think.
Bear with me.
That's me.
We're gonna pause for a second.
What is this?
This
One
is
screw up after another,
Do you know what? We're gonna pause and come back. Yes, we're back. We're back. That was a technical difficulty there. I've even managed to fix our internet screen, so there we go. This is the Jack Colback goal that we were on about. I'll quickly play it. Probably illegal, but screw it. Now it's a cross. I'll take my mind back. Right, we can only show that much because we'll need to take it.
A volleyed cross, I think that was.
Yes.
It's not. I don't think he meant it, because if he had meant that, he would have been a bit more puffy chested about it.
Yeah, maybe. But it's a banging goal. Yeah, nevertheless.
Yeah, it's a fantastic goal.
Fair play to Mr.
Completely
Colback.
by accident. You know, the gods out there decided that they would direct it into the
bloody gods.
It's not a David Beckham from the halfway line.
No, it's not a Papis Cesar, as I was talking about earlier. God, I love that goal. I love it too much. Sounds weird
because it was against Chelsea as well.
Yeah, it was.
That's what doubles it.
Prime Petr Cech. Yeah. Other news, our favourite Amir Khan. We're just talking about brown people, aren't we? We're just hating on brown people. Oh, screw it. It's called Big Brown and Hairy. Amir Khan, a.k.a. Mr. Glass Chin, a.k.a. Mr. Arguila Lounge, if you know, you know.
Yes.
A.k.a. Mr. Bolton. He got... I feel bad. He got mugged yesterday. Or robbed at gunpoint. Which isn't funny.
He's the king of Bolton, isn't he?
I mean, but not king of East London.
No.
He got robbed for... What was it? What got stolen?
I think it was a watch.
Watch. Well, why are you walking around late night in East London on your own? You're Amir Khan, and they know you're a boxer who has
loaded
money, and you're walking in the middle of the night with your missus in East London. Smart. CTE, ladies and gentlemen, getting hit in the head for a profession.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm joking. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm thinking, you know, of course, the person, you know, the person who's really to blame is the thief here. Absolutely. However, surely there's a little bit of common sense has to apply here. If you know you're a big name, and if you know that area of London, Leighton, I think it was the High Road, somewhere around there, Leighton High Road, or if you're going to be walking late at night, you're a big name. You know, I mean, you even if you're not in that area, you're already on somebody's radar. But in that area, there's going to be somebody opportunistic who's going to. Maybe it was somebody who knew you were going to be there as well.
Oh yeah, and that. Yeah. So be careful. Be careful, people.
Yeah.
If you're going to walk around with stupid watches. But boxing anyway. Big fight coming up this week.
Yes, this weekend.
I am really excited.
Fury.
I mean, it's a Tyson Fury win. I mean, the undercard is atrocious, but it's Tyson Fury. You don't get to see him that often these days because of COVID and everything. Yeah. But this is... I'm hoping he's saying he's retiring after this, but I'm hoping it's just all a ruse to go and get Anthony. I would like to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury as his final fight. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the UK public would love to see that.
Has Joshua got to come through?
I don't think even if Joshua loses, I'd still like to see that fight because it's a fight. Anyone can get dropped with one punch. I'd still like to see that. I don't think Deontay's been done. I can't do Deontay anymore. Dillian's nice seeing someone fresh, but Anthony Joshua's beaten Dillian White.
I think he beat a different Dillian White, though.
But it doesn't matter. He's beating Dillian White. I would like to see Joshua because he is considered the second best British boxer, in my opinion, is Anthony Joshua. And he's beaten a weathered Klitschko, but what a fight. Even if he's lost to Andy Ruiz, lost to Usyk, oh well. I'd still like to see Joshua versus Fury. I think even if they both retire, that's going to be all people go, we never got to see it. And I don't want to do that. So hopefully, after Dillian White is
dispatched,
I really think.
Do you think he dispatches Dillian White?
Yeah. But I think it's going to be like around, I'm going to say round 8. It's just going to be an embarrassment. He's going to school him. Dillian White's just stocky and he's a power puncher, but Deontay Wilder is the best power puncher out there. No one can hit as hard as Deontay Wilder.
But I think what happened with Deontay Wilder is that quite often Tyson Fury manhandled him.
Oh, I think Dillian White's a better boxer.
Leaned over him and things like that. I don't think Tyson Fury was going to be able to do it as much.
No,
with
but
Dillian
Tyson
White.
Fury is the most versatile fighter. He's going to show off his speed and his footwork. Dillian White's good, but speed and footwork, timing, all those things. Once that first round's over, he's timed him. Dillian White, I think the nerves are going to get to him. He already hasn't turned up to a press conference.
Yeah, I think
he's nervous.
I don't know. I don't know if it's nervous.
He's going to be at Wembley. He's never fought in a crowd like that. And the last time he did, he lost. And that was in, I think it was MEN, if I'm correct. Or was it London, Copper Box? One of them. O2. No, it wasn't O2. But a stadium? No chance. No chance. Tyson Fury's done it. He's fine. He's cool.
Well, he hasn't fought in this.
No, but he's fought for America. He's
big
fought
stage.
Big stage.
Yeah.
Dillian White has once and lost once. He's not beating Tyson Fury. If he does, I will eat my hair. Mark my words. I'll eat my hair. Dillian White's got no chance.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Tyson Fury wins it as well. I just don't think it's going to be as clear cut as the Deontay Wilder victories. Because for me, the victories that he had over Deontay Wilder were clear cut. They were one-sided as far as I could.
Yeah, even the draw was, but he still. But I think Teddy Atlas says it. Deontay Wilder has one thing, and he calls it the eraser. That right hand. You get on the floor canvas. It's over. It's nearly over. It nearly was over. He pushed Fury to his limits, knocking him down twice in that last fight, which is astonishing. Tyson Fury doesn't get knocked down often.
Right, but even after those knockdowns, though, I didn't see.
No, but Joe, if you look at
what I didn't see was Deontay Wilder, sort of going in for the kill.
But we're looking at. I'm saying it's a ref stoppage at round 8. Mark my words.
Stoppage. Okay.
I think late-ish, 8.
Okay, you think he stops?
Oh yeah. I think Deontay will try. Not Deontay. Dillian would try and use his muscle and lean on him. But that's playing into Tyson's thing. But you watch Tyson for the weigh-in is going to come in lean because he wants speed this time. He doesn't need to put his weight on him or anything because that's what Dillian White wants. He wants a dogfight. It's not going to happen. It's going to be bobbing and weaving. It's going to be a classic. It's going to be a fantastic Tyson Fury.
A brawler versus a...
Dillian's going to make Tyson Fury look good. Just those styles. Styles make fights, right?
Yeah.
I think Dillian White's style fits into Tyson Fury's main style. Tyson can box any kind of style. But his main style is bobbing and weaving, playing to the crowd. I think it will be it'll be a good fight, but I think stoppage is around 8. Or it'll go to the distance. But I think it's going to be a stoppage. I think he'll just bully him. And if at heavyweight, Tyson can hit hard. I mean, Dillian can take a punch, but he's still got stopped by Joshua. And even Joshua wasn't at his prime then. And you're saying it's not the same Dillian White, but it's not the same Joshua. But you know what? I like a big British fight.
Yeah.
I do feel like it does feel a bit. I do wish it was Joshua. That was.
I mean, for me, but you know what? Dillian's got his chance, which is a good thing. Yeah, he's deserved his chance for a long time.
Fresh blood.
Yeah, he's deserved his chance for a long time, and then that conversation can then be put to bed. He had his chance, and
then Joshua it has to happen. That has to be the last fight. There's no one else in the heavyweight division, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Usyk, maybe. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Fury Usyk.
That would be.
They're the two fights I'd love to see him have.
That would be a compelling matchup for me.
But the politics involved with boxing and the boxing boards, I don't think there'll be a unification fight at the heavyweight.
You don't think so? Be a travesty if it.
That's what it's about money. Who takes
course,
money
yeah.
then?
Of course, I mean, of course, it's about money. It just would be an absolute travesty if it didn't happen.
And it needs to happen in the UK. But wishful thinking. The last thing before we finish the episode of this shambolic 20th episode of Big Brown and Hairy.
I second that.
That we've had to, for the first time, stop midway through because we couldn't. The camera battery went. The internet wouldn't show up. There we go. You brought a fantastic story earlier from LBC.
Yeah, LBC. Yeah.
I'll quickly show. Right. So, do you want to explain this?
It happened in Arizona, in the United States, and
his name is Kim Coco Hunter.
Yeah, he's a DJ. I think if I go back to the article,
if you want to read this, diversity campaigners accused a primary school of racism for hiring a DJ who wore blackface, only to discover the man was black. Let's read that one more time. One more time. Diversity campaigners accused a primary school of racism for hiring a DJ who wore blackface, only to discover that he was black.
I mean, now one of the campaigners, to her credit, has acknowledged her faux pas and has apologised for it.
Yeah.
The other one,
yeah,
who happens to be also a professor at Arizona State University,
a professor,
yeah, is doubling down on it and saying, "Well, okay, he may not have been white, but if you compare these two photos, he's clearly darkened himself."
So he's trying to say. So the professor not really being a professor of race. I mean, that might be the best story of the day. I mean, you accuse someone of blackface. You put them right down
and then double down on
and then double down and say, well, he's a couple of shades darker. Oh, shut up.
I mean, the photos that were taken could easily have been lighting, contrast, whatever. It could have, it's to then sort of start reaching for, just to try and save face. You're thinking, listen, mate, you don't have to be a university professor to realise that you fucked up here.
Yeah. I mean, thank you very much, LBC, for bringing that wonderful, wonderful story to us.
To the masses.
To the masses. I mean, I'm really happy. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. Thank you ever so much for listening, whatever, watching. Follow our socials at Big Brown Hairy, at Bobby_Rayman, and for you
at CheeseAddict77,
and at Big Brown Hairy on everything else. If you want to message us anything or stories or whatever. And we will be back next week. So from us, see you later.
See you later.